Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Nier Replicant. Exit the clear data save screen. Yes, I think we will. Load your clear data after completing the game to experience Kaine's story. Couldn't have said it better myself. Although I didn't know that's what was going to happen. You now read a departed mother's diary in your house. Word has been added in the opposite. There's through a departed mother's diary. Change. Oh. Well, alrighty. So, continue. I guess we go from here. Please tell me Kaine gets an outfit.
Whenever I interacted with Kaine, I was reminded about something from my past. Maybe my mind has been confusing her with my sister this whole time. Anyway.
Here we go. So right before we started collecting all the pieces. Oh, it's all right. Sound of rain filled the village. Steep cliffs at the surrounding the area magnified sound, causing even the slightest drizzle to rattle like a thunderstorm. Thin wisps of smoke streamed from huts as the villagers huddled in their homes and waited out the rain. A single child, however, had braved the downpour, now wandering slowly towards the wooden, hawk-shaped weather vane at the center of town. The wanderer reached the vane, which existed for as long as any could remember, and stared. The child's face was simultaneously delicate and fierce, like a teacup that had survived a shipwreck. Its rich combined with pale white skin to give the face an almost sexless quality. If the beak turns east, I go home. Stays west, then I... Child blinked. Mane slowly ripped down the young one's short hair and began its long descent to the ground. Come on. Come on. Child felt a light breeze and watched as the vein slowly creaked to life. Spinning this way and that for a moment, finally settled with the beak pointed firmly towards the east. East? Really? Before the vein could move again, a jagged rock came spinning and tumbling through the air, striking home against the child's head. The force of the blow dropped the child to the ground as a hail of stones began to fall all around. Oh no. They found me. A heartbreaking smile crept across the child's face as the stones continued their assault. Through the rain, the sound of multiple footsteps grew louder before a voice rang out. Yoo-hoo, Kaine! Voice belonged to Demo, worst of all the bullies in the area. Kaine struggled to stand and found stone came skittering through the mud and bounced against her foot. Blood oozed from a cut above her eye and blurred her vision. She could make out the shape of Demo and his usual gang of idiots. The boy seemed taken back for a moment by Kaine's seeming indifference to the blood dripping from her face, quickly regained his bravado. What's up, freak? You like the rain? Like getting all wet? You finally decided to run away from home. Though she knew it was futile, Kaine turned to leave. When she got more than a few steps, the others scrambled to surround her, cruelty burning in their eyes. Kaine knew those were not the only eyes on her. Tormentor's parents watched for the safety of their homes. She was attuned to this sensation, one she had experienced many times before. Some of them simply turned a blind eye to the acts of their children. Many encouraged it openly. In a society ruled by superstition and fear, Kaine was something to be hated and, if possible, destroyed. To say you could leave, freak. Nemo's words chewed at her like a worm through an apple. You can't hurt me, she lied to herself. Be strong. Be brave. Can't hurt me. He can't hurt me. He can't hurt... Oh, look. The freak is gonna cry. What's wrong? I said that everyone hates you and wants you dead? And I prayed for the rain to flood down and carry her away from a world that seemed to have no place for her. But there were gods they chose to ignore. As Demo crept ever closer, clouds began to thin and the rain slowed. Even the weather hates me. Useless. failure. Wish Demo's rock had taken my head off. Kaine couldn't meet Demo's leering gaze. She lowered her eyes and stared at the muddy ground below. Billy moved forward until he was inches away. She smelled the scent of old meat on his breath. The boy grabbed Kaine's face with thick fingers and yanked it upwards. She tried to turn away, but he forced her gaze back and jammed his thumb against her eyelid to pry it open. Show me. No. You just say no? Demo grinned evilly. You don't say no to me. No one says no to me. Didn't even take his eyes away from Kaine. He called to his chorus. Come on, guys. Give the freak what she deserves. As soon as Demo finished, kicks and blows began to rain down upon Kaine. Demo paused, still grinning, as Kaine curled into a ball and tried to make the pain stop. I'll get you, freak. What you acting like a girl for, huh? Everyone knows what you really are. Kaine ignored the question. He stood to stare at the weather vane. He had to point east, as if supremely confident about the future it had chosen for her. Go home. Yeah, that's a funny joke for someone with dead parents and no home to go to. Freak, chanted the children. She closed her eyes and listened to the rain, waiting for the pain to start again. She clapped her hands as the village children closed around her. She bent her mind to the sound of the rain, letting it become her entire world. The rain fell, but the pain never came. Only when the laughter of her tormentors turned to terrified cries as she opened a single blood-caked eye. Kaine was shocked to see Demo sprawled on the ground, holding his head and screaming in pain. See blood welling from Stasis with his fat, twisted fingers. Oh my god, he's crying. He's actually crying. After their leader, the elder children grinds back and forth between themselves, waiting for someone to step forward and take charge. No savior emerged. Began an uneasy shuffle away from Kaine. The young girl was the least of their concerns. Instead, their attention was wrapped on the ancient woman standing a few feet away. Struggling for breath for a moment, she finally spoke in a voice thick with rage. Hurts like a bitch, don't it? I suggest you scatter before I throw out another one. If any of you little bastards ever touch my Kaine again, it'll be far worse than throw a rock. You can count on it. Oh, Fred then gently touched the hand Demo was using to cover the wound. Before he could think to protest, she ground her palm into the wound, twisted back of A. W, Grandma. Ow, he screamed. Stop it! What are you doing? Quit whining. No one ever died from a scratch. Give me the rock, you stupid bitch. Big one. They could have killed me. The woman shrugged. Death is the best cure for stupid. Demo's face twisted with rage and her words. Pulling his eyes on Kaine, he took a step backwards and spat on the ground. Get out. Leave this village. No one wants you here, either of you. The old woman grabbed another stone. Demo's companions turned tail and ran. So the old woman grabbed her side and barked out a single laugh. Look at the fat boy go. Guess he's healthy enough to run from a fight. The woman's smile faded as she turned her attention to Kaine. Kneeling down, she removed her shawl and placed it around the young girl's shoulders. Produced a cloth from the folds of her dress and began blotting at the blood on her forehead. Oh, Kaine, she said, why didn't you fight back? Stronger than that lock. Words of her grandmother stung Kaine. She turned away. Don't be nice to me. Don't deserve it. Nothing matters anymore. Your tears, held in check for so long, finally began to fall on the muddy ground below. Everyone hates me. I think I caused bad things to happen. I think I'm a freak. I wish I was dead. Kaine's tears turned to sob. She felt her grandmother's hands on her shoulders. At her advanced age and immediate size, she was a woman of surprising strength. Kaine found herself unable to turn away. Don't talk like that, girl. It's a river wide and deep that flows between the realms of this world and the next. And it's no mercy to any that attempt to cross it. You have a duty to fight until your last breath. Understand? The woman tightened her grip and tried to still the tremor in her voice. You know the pain of losing someone close to you, Kaine. You know because you survived it. As the words hit home, Kaine was struck by the force of her love for the old woman. As a child, she didn't even know of her grandmother. But when her parents died, the woman quickly accepted her as her own. Grandma, as Kaine called her, was cunning, vulgar, and quick to violence. And the first few years together had not been easy. With each year that passed, Kaine and her grandmother had grown closer. However, it was only now, sitting in the mud with tears and blood caking her face, Kaine truly understood the depth of her affection. Here was a woman who had seen hard times, had seen death, We'd fought through all of these things and someone emerged on the other side. If anyone could understand Kaine's pain and loneliness, it was her. Do I make you sick, Grandma? Of course not. Don't be an ass. I drew her grandmother's moth-eaten shawl around her body and shuddered. My body. It's not normal. If it's normal, then Mom and Dad wouldn't. Hush, interrupted Grandma. I hear another word of this nonsense. My granddaughter, I love you. If folks have a problem with that, they can just go to hell. With that, the old woman reached out and placed the wreath of dried flowers on Kaine's hair. The skill it took to bend the flowers without breaking the stems or losing a single petal was remarkable. The beauty of it made Kaine want to cry all over again. Oh my gosh, these are lunar tears. Grandma, you made one of this for me? These were legendary flowers. Most people would live their entire lives without ever seeing one. Your grandmother somehow collected a dozen or more. I reached over and touched the wreath as if she couldn't believe it was real. Where did you find these? She stumbled on them while I was out doing the shopping. The woman turned away. She spoke, leaning kind of suspected that the search had been more difficult than she was letting on. Pains she took to construct the ornament. I want to track down the flowers used in its construction. Made Kaine's heart hurt. Reached over gently and adjusted the wreath, admiring the way it fell between her fingers. It didn't quite turn out right, so I can't let her squint at it. Sold hands of trouble with delicate work. Sure looks good on a pretty girl like you. Kaine blushed and turned away. You think I'm pretty? Of course you are. What a fool thing to say. Thank you, Grandma. Her grandmother smiled. It'll be fine, you and me. Look at each other. It'll be just fine. Kaine took her grandmother's hand in hers. Two of them struggled to their feet. And the long walk home, Kaine gripped the hand with all her might, trying to stop smoke from drifting away in the wind. The rain had stopped. Kaine stood beneath the weather vane, watching it spin in lazy circles, no longer caring about the direction it faced when it stopped. No need to escape. I have a home now. Grandma loves me. That's enough. Even if it's us against the world. Kaine let her gaze drift up past the vane and into the cloudy sky. As faint hints of a rainbow were slowly fading. Turning ahead for home, the light scattered into a million particles and vanished. And taken away on the breeze. Is this just dialogue? Just kind of heard the steady sounds of an axe striking wood. Noticed had a purposeful quality to it. A master wisdom go about his work. About being produced, however, it was far from work of art as could be. Pieces of every shape and size would be flung about a barren yard with wild abandon. You know, stacks such wood would probably die of frustration before the job was through. Stupid piece of shit axe. He's going to flail away with the axe. Here with both splinters of wood and words that would make the most hardened sailor. Grandma. Hey, you, Kaine. Don't get too close or I might take your goddamn foot off by mistake. Or the axe down a piece of wood. Just flying in every direction. Kaine close enough for her to hear the whistle, which when she decided to step back. Oh my god, I'm gonna run out of breath. Once she'd scaled to a safe distance, she cupped her hands around her mouth and shouted, Grandma, do you need help? I can get you water or lunch or a new axe or something. Axe was striking another wobbly blow, paused in midair. Well, we considered her granddad's offer. Smile. Tell you what, it's a piss poor job, Chopper. Why don't you come here and take over so I can get the water? They've been restless lately, and I don't want you running into one of them bastards. So the axe around and picked up a long pole with wooden buckets on either end. It was by far the more difficult of the two jobs. Kind of knew better than to complain. Chopper's mind was set. There was no changing it. Every task traveled to the village. She had a long list of plausible excuses. Kaine knew the real reason. She wanted granddaughter to be taunted and harassed by the villagers. Kaine moved in. Grandma tried to take up residence a good distance from the area. Out of sight, out of mind, she did the best policy when it came to the villagers and her granddaughter. And rare were the days when any but the two of them would be found on the rocky acre of land they called home. Kaine enjoyed the solitude, rather than seek resentment that her grandmother was forced to spend her golden years in such a place. And when to leave, turned her attention to the task at hand. Had never chopped wood before in her life, and she was wondering why the old woman hated the chore. Swing the axe produced only a tiny crack in the wood, which only managed to connect with the solid stroke to embed itself in the log and refused to budge. This really is just holy. And the joy around felt in a good curse. Having a nice picked up the axe, forced it from the wood, and resumed chopping. After a skill of the blade, the task was challenging, and Bliss soon began to form her small pink hands. This is tough. The logs are all weird sizes. Spinning our palms, ignoring the pain, Kaine redoubled her efforts. As she was developing a third, Grandma returned from the village. Besides, took one look at the log and coughed out a wee laugh. Pretty clumsy, girl. Better practice if you... Oh, God. Eyes wide, Kaine tried the axe and ran to her grandmother's side. Grandma. Shook her head and pointed a trailing finger at the bucket. Get the bucket. Can't let it spill. Before that, she knelt by her grandma. So all the water sloshed over the side and made a new home in the hem of her dress. Kinda didn't notice. Grandma, what's happening? Her grandmother was so shook. Well, lift her arms with batty kind of. Stop that. Just stop. And like I'm dying. Just tired from the trepizol. Boy. This has become a visual novel. Even going to the village. It's alright. Fine. Attorney, she finally realized, I don't like it, goddammit. Guess I should quit being so stubborn and let you grow up. Strapped on her boots and made her way down the road to the village. Later, as an unseen sun made its way across the dark and rainy sky, she was still watching. Connie moved at a brisk pace, checking her pockets every few minutes to make sure the money grandma gave her was still there. Noise caused her to spin on her heels, making sure she wasn't being stalked by Shade, or worse, Demo and his gang. Got her neither tormented nor Shade, and found herself at the entrance to the village. She could see glance sideways at them, waited each other behind raised hands for slinking into the shadows. I took a series of rapid, shallow breaths and tried to calm herself. Have to prove myself. Have to help Grandma. Have to be strong. Overdose. Ba-ba-ba. Hey, put her arms in the air until I know who listen. Exactly what I kind of expressed. Hey, lady. Where's the apothecary? Slightly shook and bewildered anger. How dare this thing speak to me, they seemed to say. And you saw their eyes on different emotions. Fear. They were both scared, lady. Which way? Branching upward, something off in the other direction. Christ, okay. I'm gonna run out of breath again. What are you doing here, freak? I was always delivered without force and kind of happily ignored it. Stretching on tiptoes to see over the counter, I was striking for the medication. Little bitch finally keel over? Oh, go to hell, Demo. As you were so ahead, they seemed ready to follow that before you could feel like come back or else a punch. They probably told them to knock it off or kick them out of the store. So on the shop, cursing kindly under his breath. Once he was gone, she allowed herself to breathe once more. A brief tour of the shop while the owner prepared her medication. Countless tiny bottles filled the cramped store, each with a label written in some indecipherable language. The aromas assaulted her nose, creating a scent that was exotic and altogether unpleasant. Oh my god, this is still going. This is supposed to get against as a bee. Surely it was bad. It's reported of a stunning young girl, which had once contained brave on guns, but time it worked its schoolmaster, it began to fade, remained undiminished. Like that picture? If I had a small vial of medications and gentle but sad, and stared through her and into nothing. It's my daughter. Sketched when she was just a little girl. Dead a long time now. I didn't know how to respond. Stared at the portrait and tried to come up with the right words. Pictures are wonderful things. They'll let the ones close to you live on forever. Shook his head slightly, looked down at Kinda and smiled. On occasion, he reached into his sizable green hand and produced a handful of old wax crayons. Did I have these? One left that I wish to draw. Guy took an instinctive step back, causing his face to darken. Yes, I've heard the rumors about you, he said. Small village. We travels quickly. And you and me, I'm not sure which of them to believe. I also don't think they matter much. Well, your grandmother, Callie. I think the way she was drawn out of this house is just deplorable. Grandma's name is Callie? Still mulling this new fact over in her mind as she reached out and gently took the crayons from the apothecary's hands. Grandmother's an old friend of mine. I know her much. And she would like it if you drew a picture of her. I think she would like that very much. He almost did several steps. It was a step nonetheless. Enough tiny steps, he might one day discover the rest of the world. Feet were blackened and raw, even bleeding a bit in place. I had to think that she had been pacing around the room until exhaustion finally caught up with her. This is just a visual novel now. This is not just a novel. There's an investigation by her. I'm not trying to leave. On the old woman's hand clasped around the room. Back already, are you? Really having to look at you. Other than nothing terrible ever falling. Grandchild, sitting back and allowed herself to relax. How was it? Did I give you any trouble? Kind of fun? No, seriously. It was. Fun, eh? Anything but? Anything you need me to run an errand? Just let me know. Here's the crayons from her pocket. Source? More granted, she was going to sketch her portrait. What me? Ridiculous. What's that, a wrinkled old crone? Caramel. Will make you live forever. Horse shit. Live forever would just piss me off. Put those crayons away and help me with dinner. Took up the crayons, eyed her carefully, set to work. terrible. Don't look like you at all. My grandma thought these rounds would, you know, trying easy or something. Oh my god, we're still going. Okay, sketch would have been a person's face, it would have also been a boulder, all on clay, already gripped the same as a loaf of bread, armored in chaotic red colors. We stared at the picture for a long time and slowly wheezed out a laugh. But, hush. Oh god. Hush. This is when they rolled me in my shroud. Under this or a bed and turned kind and dropped to one knee. Listen to me, bro. It makes me happy in a way I've never felt before. Makes me want to go on. So someday you can feel the same happiness that burns down to Kanye's memory. Find the pride and love and joy that came together in a lifelong remembrance. Never forget this moment. Never forget the old woman who made her place in the world possible. Time moves on. People and memories move in and out of a life like ghosts passing through a hall. This moment will be different, Kanye's way. I'll remember it forever. Forever. We're still going. Okay. I'm gonna call it apart. Because I've been reading for about 20 minutes. Thank you for watching, listening. I hope you had a good time. I'll see you in the next part. Jeez.